What's going on, guys? This is Kaisho, welcome back. So we are back with another video. So in this video, we're going to cover Battle Nexus 2025 Malaysia. And it was held last March 8 and had like 134 participants. So a large scale tournament in Malaysia. A little bit fewer than the Hong Kong edition, which had 300 plus participants, no? But is still considered as one of the top tier Asian events that we had. And this is probably the last big event that we will play before the format ends in the upcoming ban list this coming third week of March, and also the upcoming deck build pack, and we are going to close the chapter of the Alliance Insight format from January. So moving on towards the winners and their decks. So as we can see, the usual names of the best decks are here. Primite, Blue Eyes, Ryzeal, now for example, but we do have some really notable tops here, like the champion. So moving on towards the tournament, first would be Johnny, Fua, Jun Fiendsmith, Evil Twin, wow. So it speaks volume how good the Evil Twin support that really complemented the Evil Twin and potentially making it as one of the best Fiendsmith decks available. I'm not really sure whether Evil Twin is the best Fiendsmith deck right now, but it is going towards that trajectory because Evil Twin variant with Fiendsmith is the most represented deck that plays the Fiendsmith engine recently, apart from the White Forest that runs the Fiendsmith sometimes, no? And notably, Evil Twin has been getting some large tops in South Korea, China, and Japan. Those major regions are clinging with the Fiendsmith Evil Twin as well. So it's no stranger towards the metagame. It is considered as a tier C, top tier deck in most of the tier lists that we have from Japanese people and regions. So I do think that the Fiendsmith Evil Twin winning this large event in Malaysia speaks volume on how good a mid-range deck can be, complemented with a meta-tiered engine like Fiendsmith, and was able to run 3 Veiler, 3 Droll, 2 Follows, 1 Nib on the main deck, apart from the usual Ash and Imperm and Maxino. So it has like 20 rooms for non-engine, so it just so consistent on doing their 1-card combos with the Evil Twin, and it is able to do something really nice. Going second with Follows and Droll and Nibiru, those are really handy going second, and it is the epitome of a really good mid-range deck that you can play in this metagame. It just counters everything using the hand trap options and choices, and able to dish out a really recognizable board. As we can see, you have the line for the Fiendsmith ending on your Omni-Negate threats, and potentially your Evil Twin can go with the Trouble Sunny, Aubao, and Rage now for example with the Unchained line. So I just think that this deck really surprised a lot of people in the Malaysian tournament, and it was legitimately unstoppable because it is 8-0. The pilot have posted the decklist on his X or Facebook if I'm not mistaken, and he has an 8-0 record, winning the tournament undefeated. So I just think that he really did a splendid job on piloting a tier C type of deck on a large tournament and winning it all. So moving on towards the side deck, it played Chaos Hunter. I think Chaos Hunter played so much dividend on his success with Orcus, very popular deck in Southeast Asian regions, and Malice, arguably the most favored deck for a lot of people recently, apart from Ryzeal, no? So it just counters those two decks, and arguably those two are the top 2 and 3 most popular decks in Southeast Asian region right now. And particularly it is playing Forbidden Droplet, and I just think I really like the approach of his thought process on his sideboard game here. Didn't want to run Meowls or other cards that really specifies on the Malice matchup. It went for a more general, broad approach of playing Droplet, Lightning Storm, and Judgment, which are more convenient facing Rogue, Control, and other weird shenanigans going on in the format. And he is very prepared with his Droplet, Lightning Storm, Duster, and Judgment to face those consequences against those other decks and other variants. So really splendid job from Johnny winning it all. And moving on towards the second, Lim Jean Quen, Primate Blue Eyes. So Primate Blue Eyes is already a certified deck that is a serial winner from the past 3 Battle Nexus events that we have shown in our channel. Those Battle Nexus events always have a Primate Blue Eyes top, and it speaks volume on how good the structure deck for Blue Eyes have been for the vast majority of Alliance Insight format, and previously last year as well. Primate Blue Eyes is a legitimate tier 1 deck now. If the support for Malice and Ryzeal did not happen and Regenesis did not broke out of the metagame, Primate Blue Eyes would be considered as the best deck. So I just think that Primate Blue Eyes is a very well-rounded deck, playing 1-card starters with your Sage, Beryl, and your Loady Load is always top tier on supplementing the Blue Eyes engine. And also you have things like Follows, Nibiru, Purge, for example, no, and Droll on the main deck to just beef up your hand trap options. And as we can see this on this deck list, it played a lot of 2-offs with 2 Purge, 2 Veiler, and I just think that it is more well-rounded against this type of events where you can face a lot of rogue decks and unfamiliar decks altogether. Looking on our side deck here, displaying 2 Sanctum, which you don't see, to be honest, on Blue Eyes Primate deck list. Most often than not, they would run a lot of stuff like Judgment, Strike, for example, na Fragrance. You don't really see Sanctum recently, especially on Japan and South Korea. And it is also very notable that he opted to side deck the Skill Drain over main decking the Skill Drain because he already runs 41, no? So he just doesn't want to run 42, I guess. And he opted to side the Skill Drain to avoid drawing it going second, which doesn't do anything when you have drawn it going second. So he opted for a more versatile way of playing hand traps and generic cards on the main deck rather than relying on the usual summon limit or skill drain. So yeah. Moving on, we do have Chong Yi Yang, Ryzeal. So very standard Ryzeal deck list here. Played triple Purulya, triple Follows. It's just so good going second, and you can always damper those cards when you go first, so you don't really lose too bad. But the recent innovation from the recent Battle Nexus tournaments was the Artifact Lancea getting inclusions in the main deck. I just think that sounds really phenomenal when we consider that Orcus is really popular in Southeast Asian regions and Malice is the counterpart best deck of Ryzeal. So you technically shut down 2 of the most popular decks in your region in the Southeast Asia and still get no drawbacks from it. You don't get drawbacks from Lancea. Playing Ryzeal is just so fantastic on you, and this could be a very integral part of innovating Ryzeal recently, where you don't wanna play talent or things like Droplet anymore on the main deck, or more copies of the Charmies, or even Droll, no? So I just think that Lancea could make so much impact on the shape of environment right now. And oh my goodness, it is even playing Shifter, no? So it's really prepared against the White Force matchup, and potentially some Blue Eyes Primite as well, no? So yeah, Shifter on Blue Eyes Primite, wow, can be really interesting. Yeah, I'm really trying to claw my mind on the thought process of playing Shifter on a deck that kinda really suffers from Shifter as well, no? Sometimes. So yeah, it could work, but it can hurt you on the process. Next would be Hui, Chen Hao, Primate Blue Eyes. Another Primate Blue Eyes, this time a more standard approach, playing 3 Nib and 3 Dominus Purge, which are very very strong going second. And yeah, another one Blue Eyes Primite without skill drain or summon limit on the main deck. So yeah, they are technically not favoring those floodgates now. Very interesting development for Blue Eyes Primate players. And no Little Knight as well, just played the Anima, which can surprise a lot of people, especially if they don't know that you're running Anima. They could misplace their Link monsters and get punished really bad for it. Next would be Lim, Yu Hong, Ryzeal. Pretty similar deck list from the earlier. It just runs less Veiler, and things like Nibiru is only at R1 here on the main deck. And oh my goodness, it is playing a bunch of going first cards. 7 going first cards. Wow. Huge emphasis on going first. Yeah. Technically, you side out the Falls and Purulia for the 3 Judgment and 3 Fragrance. And potentially, you side out the Nibiru as well for the Summon Limit going first. So, very very well-rounded deck list. Wow, really beautiful. I can already tell that it is well thought and the sideboard game is top-notch. The pilot really thinks very deeply on playing through with his side decking patterns. Next would be Jackie Chen, Azamina, White Forest. Pretty standard deck profile, aside from the fact that it is running 44. Oh my goodness. But looking on our deck list here, it adopted the recent trend of playing Gamma on the main deck from the recent White Forest topping deck list from Japan and probably South Korea. They're main decking Gamma just to have countermeasures against the Maxi and Fualas, no? Those are just really absurdly strong against the White Forest when you can bait out those hand drops and technically finish off with Gamma. You really snowball for really good amount of advantages on this deck. And 44 card, wow. Playing chicken game, talent, and only one of continuous spell. Yeah, I think it's really solid. 44 card. Didn't thought of this, no. But it worked for him. Next would be Lim, Sauvun, Grass Malice. Another grass version of Malice, no? We have seen tops of Grass Malice from the Hong Kong, and correct me if I'm wrong, I just think that Grass Malice also won from the Singapore edition. So yeah, Grass Malice could be really something else moving forward. A lot of people are playing various engines and various tech cards on the Grass Malice, Metaltronus, Horus, Bestials, Mathmech, and the likes of Chaos Engine as well, no? So bunch of variants from Grass Malice, but all in all, it just snowballs for crazy advantages when going first. You have like Trust and Mining and Grass, of course. Once you resolve Grass, it's pretty much game over. And next we do have Liu Jing Hung, Primate Blue Eyes. This time, runs the Ultimate Fusion and runs as well the new Ancient Fairy Synchromonster on the extra deck. And pretty standard, all in all. And I believe this is the last deck that we have here. We do have Charles Lu Wei Jing, a very popular name in Malaysia. It's no surprise that he topped this tournament, and he really went crazy with his Ryzeal build, playing off the usual Lancia and Nibiru from the recent trends on Japanese region decklist of Ryzeal. And I think 41 card is a really good number for Ryzeal, considering that you have like 3 Ascension, 1 Small World, 2 Tachyon, and 1 Bonfire. So technically you have so many starters for Ryzeal. The only drawback would be 1 of Bonfire and the 1 of X that was hit recently. But all in all, pretty consistent, and didn't want to overcomplicate things here. Just wants to run the most optimal hand traps. And looking on the side deck, it is playing Dragon's Mind I think that's also a very powerful going first tech for the Ryzeal, considering that it acts as a pretty much similar card for Solemn Judgment and a better card amidst Solemn Strike, no? So a more well-rounded counter trap and also has a graveyard recursion effect. So yeah, that sums up our Battle Nexus 2025 Malaysia edition tournament report and decklist analysis. So once again, shoutouts towards the winners of this Malaysia Battle Nexus event. You really did a splendid job on topping this tournament, and also huge props for Akira of Road of the King to browse and show this informative content for us always in the Road of the King. So once again, thank you for watching. See you on the next one. Peace.